So, as we mentioned in part one, filtering is one of the reasons why many people tend not to succeed, in the fact that though they're attending seminars and reading books, there are programs running on an unconscious level in that person's mind that, to an extent, helps to sabotage the efforts that they're putting forward. Now, these programs are also known as limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs can literally stop you dead in your tracks in relationship to achieving your success. Limiting beliefs can take you off your course of action. Limiting beliefs can literally push you away from the very things you're looking to achieve. What are these limiting beliefs? Well, think about this. Have you ever said to someone, well, I can't do that. I don't have the education. Or I'm not the best looking person. I'm not handsome. I'm not pretty. Or I'm not tall enough. I'm too short. I'm too dark. I'm too pale. There are a variety of limiting beliefs that stop us from achieving our goals, stop us from becoming successful. And many of these limiting beliefs start in our childhood. If you had a parent or parents that they themselves have never dealt with their own limiting beliefs, they in turn will express those belief systems, and you as a child may have picked up on those belief systems. There's a saying, children don't learn from what you say. Children learn from what you do. You see, children will observe the behavior, attitudes, personalities of the parents and other adults in their life, and they will model that behavior, those attitudes. When you also have parents who may be abusive and may not be able to express themselves in a way that's loving, caring, and uplifting to the child, and only uses negative programming in relationship to dealing with those children or you, again, that also impacts you on a unconscious level, wherein that those negative words, behaviors that was expressed to you, you hold on to those things. There are adults now that on a biological level, they are adults. But on a mental level, they are still trapped in the age that disruptive force that comes out of that parent locks them in. In particular, if the child was abused physically, mentally, and so forth. So you may still be holding on to that negative type of programming that inhibits you from becoming successful, because maybe you were told you will never amount to anything. You will never be anyone. You're too stupid. You're not intelligent enough. You're not good looking enough. Oh, your brother does this better than you. Oh, your sister's so smart. What's wrong with you? Oh, why couldn't you be a better athlete? Why couldn't you try harder? Have you heard those kind of comments coming from your parents or parent? You see, we get older, we mature biologically, but until we deal with the mental effects of the abuse that comes from these parents, you're doomed to repeat them, the same type of behavior. Not in all cases now. I'm not going to generalize like that. But in most cases. And on a unconscious level, those programs will play in the background as you're looking to achieve in life. And unless you come to the realization that these programs are running, you're always going to wonder, well, why am I not successful? Why, I've got the education, I know I have a talent or skill, but why am I not successful? And you don't realize that on a psychological level, you're still dealing with those issues. I've met many people over the years that I've spoken to in regards to this matter, and as we talk about bringing out these limiting beliefs, some of them for the first time realize that, all these years, the things that have been holding me back, the thing that may have been holding me back is what I learned as a child or heard growing up through my childhood into my adulthood. Another area that you also develop limiting beliefs is your environment. Outside of your house, your home, with your parents. If you live in a community that's dilapidated, crime, you don't see much in relationship to aspirational thinking. You don't hear too much in relationship to aspirational thinking. Everything is about struggle. Then that environment may not be conducive to developing the kind of mindset that strives for success. So that's why you look at certain communities, they're basically the same communities 5, 10, 20 years later. You may not see the same people, but the same behavior patterns are still familiar. There is no hope. Now, again, will I say that happens to everyone? No. There will always be individuals that overcome the challenges, negative experiences on a conscious and even on an unconscious level. They will succeed. But statistically, those people are outliers. They're not the norm. And when you realize that, you have the potential for changing your circumstances. But that requires you acknowledging that there may be belief systems that you have held on to over the years that may be sabotaging you on the unconscious level. Part of what one has to do, it's like when you're an alcoholic, until you come to the realization that you're an alcoholic and you have a problem, and then look for solutions, maybe like a 12-step program, to change the behavior, that person will always be an alcoholic, but they will always engage in the use and consumption of alcohol. Well, it's the same thing with the limiting beliefs. Until you realize that you have certain beliefs that are holding you back, whether it's from childhood or you picked up during middle school and high school, or you observed and learned on an unconscious level through just existing in a particular environment, until you come to the realization that you have those limiting beliefs, you're just going to keep repeating the same patterns. And those beliefs will affect you in a variety of areas in your life. Maybe you're not going to get that promotion because maybe you don't feel like you deserve it. And whatever you feel, it's what you're going to put out. For all things start internally. Happiness, love, success, prosperity. All these things start from within. Self-esteem. All these start from within. Listen. God, the creator of the universe, set a plan in motion that each of us as human beings are unique, have a particular skill, have a particular personality. There is no one in the world like you. They're even twins that they have observed, though from the same egg, still develop different types of personalities. Yes, they may have many things in common, but to an extent, they still have different personalities, different likes, dislikes. They have different appreciations for different types of things. So each of us is unique. That makes you special. It makes you different than anyone else on this planet. And once you come to that realization, there is something value about who you are as an individual. Then you have the right to express who you are in this society. And you have the right to be successful in whatever endeavor you want to engage in. And this requires that you cast aside those limiting beliefs. Now, how do you correct that? Well, the first thing you need to do, as I said a few minutes ago, like an alcoholic, you have to come to that realization. Secondly, some of you may need to seek counseling for dealing with those past issues that repeat themselves on an unconscious level in your life. And those of you who may not need professional consultation, well, there are still the opportunities to deal with these limiting beliefs through education. One of the books I recommend is The Magic of Belief by Claude Bristol, an excellent book. Those of you who are spiritually and religious grounded, whether it's the Bible or the Quran, there are many books, spiritual books, where these teachings come from that would help you in relationship to fostering a different belief system. Look, in the Bible it talks about, as a man thinketh, so is he. So whatever you think about, you become. Whatever you meditate on the most, that's what you start to organize your personal universe to manifest itself in that form. There are many other teachers that deal with helping one to reconstruct their belief systems. And part of your journey is to educate yourself, whether it's through audio or reading books or attending seminars. Educate yourself through affirmations. Educate yourself. You can use NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, as a part of the process of changing your belief system. But you have to start. And before you become successful in any area of endeavor, deal with that issue. For if you want to become successful, which you must want to because you're listening to this audio, if you want to become successful, then reprogramming yourself is integral to that process. Folks, I'm glad and I appreciate the fact that you're listening, and hopefully this message will touch you and bring you to action to change the limiting beliefs in your life and guide you and put you on that road to success. Thank you.